Hello and welcome back to the Ain't Dead Yet podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our official sponsor, Sun Life Organics. Love, heal, and inspire. Sun Life Organics is a juice bar that has locations all across the United States, providing only the highest quality organic ingredients. I love it. Personally, I go just about every day. My favorite smoothie is the Holy Cow. It's packed with 50 grams of protein, and it always helps me recover. Go find one near you. Another official sponsor of today's podcast is Noble Origins. Noble is a grass-fed beef protein complex, utilizing everything in the cow from nose to tail. It's personally my favorite protein. I like the vanilla the best. I like to mix it with raw milk. That is my favorite combination, but the chocolate is also amazing. I also had mentioned with additional sponsor, Sun Life Organics, that they have a shake smoothie called the Holy Cow. They also utilize Noble protein in order to hit that 50 grams in that shake. So again, go order it. Check them out, nobleorigins.com. Use code ADY for 15% off. Love y'all. Hello and welcome back to the Ain't Dead Yet podcast. I usually say pumped to be here today. I think there's some things we need to talk about today that just need to be discussed. They need to be public. They need to be understood. They need to be heard. That being said, I have a special guest today, my man Nolan. And I'll get into why he's the special guest for today, and we're going to dig deep into that. But Nolan and I have known each other for a while in different arenas, whether it's fitness, faith, a little bit of business, crossing paths, that sort of thing, some podcast stuff. So we've kind of overlapped in many ways, but recently we've had this experience, I guess is what I'll call it, together that I would say has deeply created this different level of bond and understanding of one another. Almost like a level of patience and grace and love and care. And it's just, I think it's such a rare thing to experience man to man in today's age. And I'm really grateful for it. But he's here today and we're going to dive into the July 4th floods in Kerr County, really, all of Hill Country, Central Texas. And, we moved about a good bit throughout that process, but I want to kick it off by telling the story of how we got connected down there. I think because that's really what spun everything into action. Yeah. And it was way out of both of our hands, to be honest. Like we did very little in the big picture. It was all the support around us. It was God. It was the universe, whatever people want to call it, moving through us, I think, through our hands and feet, and probably your brain, not so much mine. My brain shuts off in that mode, but I was grateful to have you there as a balance when it came to that.
I don't know if it's much of a balance, but
yeah, I just appreciate that part. But to start the story, so to get into the floods, to be totally transparent and honest, before we even get to July 7th, July 4th weekend, I had a buddy in town. We spent the weekend going out in Green, going to Green Hall, Green River Grill, out in New Braunfels, listening to live music. Yeah. It obviously rained a lot that weekend, but if I'm being totally honest, I was detached from really what was happening outside. He was in from out of town. We stayed pretty busy doing a bunch of different things. And I'd kind of heard chirps through the grapevine, but never dug into anything. And it wasn't until I took him to the airport Monday morning in Austin and dropped him off. And I was riding back and I was like, man, what's going on in the world kind of thing. Yeah. And a mutual Instagram connection had posted a reel essentially saying, and it was, I don't know how to word this appropriately, but like it was pretty well done given the time frame. Yeah. Like I didn't quite understand like why there was so much detail in the content and different angles. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy, but it essentially was a call for action. They were asking for help. It was said that they were down there. They needed volunteers. They needed people that could just search, rescue, run saw equipment.
And that's 3 days after the flood.
3 days.
Yeah.
So I called my mom almost immediately, and I was like, she's like, I've been waiting for the phone to ring. And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, this is about then. She's like, yeah. She's like, when are you leaving? I was like, right now. She's like, cool. She's like, I figured. She's like, I told my sister last night it's coming.
Yeah.
And so I went to the house in New Braunfels, grabbed my saw, some rigging, some shovels, a pickaxe, my boots, and just went. I didn't have like nothing else, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
we're just going for it.
Well, you didn't know what was.
No clue.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were getting into.
No clue.
The rigging, that was big. That was a big play.
Yeah. And that wasn't me either. My brain wasn't even operational at that point. I was like, I'm gone.
100%.
And people were like, we have plans. I was like, I don't give a shit about any of those plans. You're gonna have to deal with me when I get done. Like, I don't know when that's gonna be, but bye.
Yep.
So I instantly detached from anything that was happening in my life by choice. Like, it wasn't, I'm not saying that to boast or brag. I literally was just like, nope, this is what we're doing. I drive down there. The whole way I'm driving down there, I'm trying to contact the person that I saw post this reel. I'm calling, I'm texting, I'm DMing. Where are you guys at? Because it said in the call to action, call, text, DM, whatever, we'll tell you the location. So I'm like, bet. Like, I'm doing all those things and not getting any response, bro. I'm getting pissed.
Yeah.
I've never fucking been to Kerrville.
Mm-hmm.
I know Johnny Manziel's from there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the extent of my knowledge of that area.
Yeah.
I'm aware of hill country, but like that specific area, very limited knowledge. I drive into town and I don't know where to go, essentially. Like, he finally like connected back with me and he's like, well, we're not down there anymore. We were down there yesterday, but like this is where we were at yesterday. And I went there and that whole area was like completely closed off. And there happened to be an O'Reilly's Auto Parts, like on the corner or the intersection of this, like two major highways, like Texas highways.
Yeah.
So I think it was 27 was one of them.
Yeah.
Is that the one that fed in?
I think so.
Yeah, 27 or
100%
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
One of them.
Either way, I go into O'Reilly's and I come back out and I'm like, man, well, I don't know what to do. You know, legitimately, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And I was like, well, when I talked to the person that put the reel up, they're like, we're going back next Monday with a government entity. And that's like, in my head, I was like, oh, I know why. It's financial.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something about me, and I heard my mom chirping in my ear of like, to hell with that.
Yeah.
It was like that instantly died in my mind. I've got a history with nonprofits and shit like that.
Yeah.
Government entities, like, it was almost an increased chip on my shoulder because they were saying like, people aren't welcome there. I was like, watch this shit.
Yeah.
And so I said a prayer. I was like, God, I have no clue where to go. I don't know anything about this area. I don't even know where I'm at, but I'm going to get my saw, I'm going to get my rigging, I'm going to start walking. I'm just going to walk. And in my life, when I've done that and literally just stepped into faith, like, here it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's like, I somehow, some way God's connected in that for me always.
Prayer works if you do.
Yeah.
If you take the steps.
So I just started walking, dude. And I've told the story on Instagram, but I think I made it 100 feet, bro. And I hear this old man.
Our boy.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you know I run that saw? And I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, come on in. That's what kicked it off. It wasn't me. All I did was drive down there.
Mm-hmm.
God led me. JR was working through God.
Yeah.
Right? And from that point forward, when I walked through that gate, my life, I didn't know it then, my life changed in an instant. Like, my entire life, everything about me, things that I thought were so deeply woven in me that couldn't be disturbed, got uncovered and unraveled in that moment. I didn't know it. And I still haven't processed all of it. We'll get into that part later. But I go in there, start cutting, and I got there about lunchtime that day. And I think I cut for 5 or 6 hours. It was really disorganized. There were people everywhere kind of just doing whatever. And I was like, all right, need more saws, need more tools, need more rigging, like, need more equipment, need more people. All that started rolling through my head. And I think part of that's because of the background in big build.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how do we attack this shit? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't do this by myself. Need a team. Mm-hmm. And this is just, for the audience's perspective, this is just one area of the river.
Like a 15, 20 plus mile stretch probably.
Yeah.
That needed it.
Right. And so it's like, okay, we have like on the plat, we have from this mark to this mark. How can we be the most impactful here? That's all we're focused on. And the way the river kind of went, it split off into a pool. And in that pool, that's where all the campers and trees were stacked. So they came off the bank, flipped into this pool, and then the river was rushing by on the backside of that constantly. And it was just, everything was stacked in there. And so I remember I went back to the truck and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't have a media team. I'm just going to truck bed this shit. I'm sweating, covered in shit. I'm like, fuck it, let's roll. This is where I'm at. This is what we're doing. I need help. Like, we need people. I don't give a shit what anybody's telling you, whether they're from the government, a nonprofit, whatever. I have a place. We can be impactful. We need people. And I was pissed off in that moment almost instantly because of what had happened and how I gotten down there. But my mind had also shifted to this place of like, I can either focus on that or I can try to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I make that post, and it wasn't long after I make that. I was, in full transparency, I was anticipating a ton of men reaching out from this area. And we're in Austin, for what it's worth. So shout out to everybody in Austin. Kinda. And I'll dive into that later. But Nolan is the only male, able-aged male, that reached out quick. Where are we at? What do you need? How can I help? I'm coming. And when he did that, I'm like, all right, there's got like more coming, more. Like, they get it. They understand it. He's the only man I heard from that day. I heard from multiple females, not even in Austin, bro, like Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Virginia. And it's the empathy side. They understood it. They could see it in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you done walked into some shit that, this ain't all right. Like, how can we help? What can we do? What? And I was just like, let me get my hands on this thing and see what's going on. Like, I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
And I just told you, I was like, hey, let's, we'll meet up, drop a pin, whatever. We'll get down there. And you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go in the morning and I'm going to buy some shit. Like, I'm like, okay, what do you get? He's like, I'm going to get a chainsaw. And I'm like, damn, he's going straight to a chainsaw. I'm going to buy a bunch of chains. I'm going to buy a bunch of bar oil. $900 later, whatever it was, Nolan shows up to this location. And to be honest, up until he got there, I felt pretty alone, right? I'm like, where is all this community?
Mm-hmm.
Where are all these people that are these macho, badass motherfuckers that are just cold-blooded killers all over social media and in the gym? This is a perfect place for them to be utilized right now. And they were nowhere to be found. But you were there. And we talked for a minute. We got the chainsaws running. We walked down to the bank. We started cutting. It was just you and I. And that's when we both had I'd had some real experience the day before, but like, we both had this experience we shared together that to me made it very real. It changed everything. I almost didn't even know how to embrace it or absorb it when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But that gentleman walked up to us and he just said, have you seen my brother? And we were like,
Nope.
No. Who's your brother? And he's like, I found his car, but I can't find my brother.
This is 4 days after the flood at this point.
Correct. And day 2 for me, day 1 for you. And I remember
I'd been there for 30 minutes.
Yeah. We looked at each other and we're like,
this is real.
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Context at that point. Do you mind if I fill in? Because I think.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. At that point, I think the body count was still rising. Like, it was probably like 90 something, like the missing bodies was like 90, close to getting 100, and it got up to whatever it got up to. But yeah, God works in crazy ways. Similar to you, I was in Greece on July 4th on a family vacation. And my dad got some notification. He's like, dang, there's a flood in Kerrville. Like, there's four people died. And I'm like so removed from it. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that sucks. Literally didn't think anything of it. Get back to America, jet lagged, tired, sort of just disassociated after like such a chaotic, amazing couple weeks. See some videos, see some pictures. I've got strong Texas roots, family, friends in the general Kerrville, Hill Country area. And the two things that stuck out to me was the story of the two sisters holding hands when they were found, and the camp counselor, the owner, who died trying to save people. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I got to go out there. Like I don't even know. Maybe it's similar to you. Like it was a choice, but it was like, it wasn't in a weird way. I was like, okay, I'm just going. So I get on Google, similar to you. I don't know why. I just don't like the idea of bureaucracy. I don't like authority in that type of way. I was like asking ChatGPT, I want to go out there. I don't want to serve sandwiches. No disrespect to that. Like that stuff's got to be done, but I have a skill set. I have a physical capabilities. I want to use them. I don't want to go through an organization. I was getting stuff like, oh, apply to use this. I'm like, no, I don't want to apply. I want to go out there right now and like get to work. Get on ChatGPT, Google, nothing. And I was kind of deflated. I'm like, damn, I really want to get out there. But like, it's like the world was working against people getting out there in a way. Mm-hmm. I get off ChatGPT, and this is the amount of things that we could talk about where it's like so blatantly God throughout these 3 weeks. Get off ChatGPT. I'm deflated. Go on Instagram. First video I see, maybe like 5-10 minutes after you posted it, was your video. I texted you immediately. I'm like, yo, like what's the deal? Because in that moment I immediately recognized. I was like, oh, this is literally an answered prayer. Like immediately, I was just looking for this. You said, hey, I need people. I need dudes that can do stuff. And then, yeah, like you said, woke up, went out there. Similar to what you just said. It's funny because I knew it was going to be serious. As I vividly remember pulling through that gate, seeing JR and another gentleman, just extremely grateful to see, like they had never met me before. Like, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I'm like, okay. Pull up, park my car, and I start looking around. River's probably 200-300 feet down. Looks like a creek, pretty much. Looks like a glorified creek. And I'm looking around, and I'm 200 feet away, maybe more. And there's trees tossed up like they're little kids' toys. There's debris everywhere. And in that moment, I'm like, oh, snap, dude. Mm-hmm. This is serious. Like, this is real. Life, like similar to what you said, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, but my life is not going to be the same. And so we go down there, and that gentleman walking with his pool cue, I'll never forget it, just trying to poke stuff with his pool cue. Never forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. I also didn't know, and I know you didn't either. We had no clue at the time what would transpire over the next 3 weeks. And I think that's important for people to hear. You don't need the answers. You just need to be there. Mm-hmm. Right? The answers are going to continue to uncover themselves as long as you keep utilizing your tools, your gifts. I heard this thing yesterday, and I think it applies to this experience. And the audience will have to bear with me. I'm not as philosophical or anything like that, like Nolan, but I'll probably fucking butcher the shit out of this quote. But essentially it was like, it's awesome when God answers your prayers, but it's even better, like if he answers your prayers for your wants, right? He gives you what you want, but it's even better when he gives you things you didn't ask for. And I think that the balance of that, I started thinking about that quote, and I'm like, okay, we just showed up because we felt like we could probably help, and we wanted to. But God would then take it from there to somewhere I still haven't even.
No, it'll take a long time.
I can't fathom it. And we'll get into it, but we're just running saws. We talked to this gentleman that had lost his brother, and then shortly after that is when like JR came down on the tractor, and we're looking at these, like, to give some perspective to the audience too, trying to like put this in layman terms and not mansplain because people get pissed about that, but essentially on the riverbank, like Nolan just described, couple hundred feet up.
On either side.
Yeah. There's just trees, campers, toys, clothes, shoes, animals, literally everything.
Kayaks 30 feet up in the air, RVs 20 feet up in the air, mattresses,
everything.
Clothes.
Anything you can imagine.
A red bandana.
Yeah. And I remember JR coming down with the tractor, and we were kind of like, all right, we're going to have to start working this from like one direction to another, right? Like we can't We can't just like bounce around. We need to actually start working back and getting piles and moving things. But to give perspective, like when a lot of these trees came down, so like the water obviously rushing. I read in this other study that, and please, audience, correct me on this, and I'll put it in the show notes if I can find it. It was something to the effect of at its mass impact, it was 7,500 times the amount of water that flows out of Niagara Falls. Something like that.
Yeah, I can provide a little context on that. So CFS, cubic feet per second. As far as I know, I don't know the exact CFS of the Guadalupe typically, but let's just assume that it's a regular river. Anywhere from 500 to like 10,000. That's obviously a big range.
Yeah.
At its max, is what I saw was 111,000.
Yeah.
CFS.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine said that he read something that was moving at its peak at 60-something miles an hour.
Yeah. And to give perspective of why that matters, like people didn't have a chance. You're talking a lot of feet in a very short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
So like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So imagine being with your family, camping, in your cabin, whatever, or your child being at a campground. They're asleep 2-3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the water came up, and that's when it really came through. They didn't have a chance, bro.
Dude, I spoke with dude, we might need to do like a 7-hour podcast, but I spoke with a young couple with a 2-year-old daughter last time I was there, last Saturday, at a family friend's house. He woke up because they heard loud thunder, and they were on a cabin on my family friend's ranch on the river, 100 feet from the river. He wakes up, steps down because he's gonna go check. He steps in water. So that's when it was already in the cabin, and he stepped in water. That's when they realized what was going on.
Yeah.
He walks outside. He's like, "Oh, car's 100% not an option." So he literally has to climb up this bluff, literally with his wife and his 2-year-old daughter hanging onto his shoulders, with torrential downpours, literally like practically mudslides down this bluff.
Yeah.
Climbs up the bluff. They get rescued by a helicopter. And obviously I was talking to him. It's best case scenario for them, to be honest, because it ended a lot worse for a lot of people. But it literally happened. Like if they woke up 30 minutes later, the wife said,
"It's over."
Yeah.
It's over. And the thing about that is when you're dealing with a lot of children, like if you look at ratios, like if you think of a camp, there's obviously more children than chaperones and adults. Mm-hmm. You can't 1-for-1 it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. Anybody that's ever been to camp knows that. So you imagine these adults in these leadership roles, and I don't know if it's 10-1, I don't know if it's 12-1, I don't know the numbers, but I can promise you it's more than 5-1. Think about that weight and that responsibility, and you read those stories and like what they went through as well before a lot of them passed away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Trying to do something. And I think either way, back to the JR Riverbank piece, because we can this is going to be hard to do. I'm just going to tell the audience that now you have to bear with us, because I can tell you from a place of transparency and vulnerability, yesterday was the first full day I haven't been down there or working some part of the flood.
Yep.
And so my brain is still very convoluted with a lot of information and confusion and frustration, a million different things. So we're still processing it. And that's part of the reason we're doing this while it's fresh, though, because I think it's honestly going to help us put shit together. Mm-hmm. But all these trees that had gotten knocked over, there was 100-foot trees bent over, dude. Like
that one cedar you were cutting in that video, that's like a 150, 200-year-old tree.
Yeah, massive.
12 feet around probably.
Yeah, just massive. It's like, but those were everywhere. And then on top of those was like these smaller trees, because these big trees were catching smaller trees. When we say smaller trees, it could be a 40-footer.
Yeah.
You know, but then all the way down to small brush. So you have these massive mounds backed up on these big trees. And then trees on top of them stacking. So everything's, from like a structure perspective, like cross-loaded. And when you deload a structure, you never do it bottom up. You can't.
Yeah.
If I cut the bottom, especially if things are cylindrical.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a flat surface, a square, rectangle, whatever, and you cut bottom up, you at least have a little bit of an understanding of where things are going to land. When it's cylindrical, you have no clue. It could roll any type of way. Yeah. You don't understand the weight of the tree because some are hollow, some are solid. Like it's literally worst case scenario from a structure standpoint. So you have to go top down. Well, there's no equipment out there yet, right?
It's us and a tractor.
Yeah, it's a tractor and a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
And he's like, just get in the bucket.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, fuck, it's day 2, dude. Like, I'm going to die on day 2 out here, like, with a chainsaw in my hand.
Yeah.
But fuck it.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
He's drinking his Diet Coke, just yelling.
Yeah.
Orders.
And I'm like, to give a little bit of perspective on JR, he's an older Vietnam vet, salt of the earth, like, beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also the kind of guy, he's the only kind of person that I could ever take any sort of direction from.
Yeah.
If it's not just like him, I'm not listening. And the reason I say that is he's a man's man. He doesn't care.
He was telling us our cuts were dog
shit.
Complete
Yeah.
dog crap. Yeah.
He's like, don't do that, do this, do this. And he's just yelling shit out. And we're just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just keep talking, dude. Didn't care, though. You know what I mean? It was all love. But he also pissed in front of everybody. You know what I mean? That's when I knew. I was like, I love this dude. This dude's legit.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He knows why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being anything other than getting it done. And so we go up in this bucket and we're cutting these trees and we're kind of breaking it down. And then it starts to feel like, okay, at this point, my construction brain's taking over. I was like, all right, this is how we're going to hammer this.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we worked a little further south, or well, I guess we'll call it east. It depends on who you want to talk to.
Yeah.
But
Downriver.
Yeah, downriver. We start getting connected with like one more guy and then one more guy. And that's when we would meet Jay and Leo. And these guys are just, for perspective again, these are people that have zero background in this type of environment. Not many people do, to be honest with you.
They also, most of the people that we worked with, either A, had never been to Kerr County.
Yep.
Definitely didn't know anybody there.
Yep.
And had, we weren't affiliated. Like there was
Right.
no,
there was
just a bunch of dudes.
unattached.
And women and
Yeah.
children showed up.
Completely unattached, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was our biggest blessing. I don't know how many times I got asked, like, who are you guys affiliated with? Who you here with?
My boys.
And I was like, God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who you here with? Like, you want to talk to him? You want to talk to my boss?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. But that level of arrogance lets you get shit done because people are like, okay, well, they're obviously making an impact. Let me just get the fuck out of the way. But we get connected with Jay and Leo and then Damien and George, right? And
my boy Mark.
Oh, dude. Philly.
Man.
Wild Bill, Pickle Juice. Like, right,
Yeah.
these people, and a lot of them were vets,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then a lot of them were just like businessmen of different types. The one thing that everyone had in common is nobody that was there for the clout. Not a soul.
Mm-hmm.
No one gave a shit. We were just working together. And then we started putting plans together. We still didn't have equipment. Like this dude from Cali showed up. I swear he's from Cali. He's probably from Austin. In like basketball shorts, a wife beater, and like a military grade truck with a winch on it, dude. And he's like, I just got it, man. Had a crazy paint scheme.
Yeah. He was just driving around looking for places
to
could
pull.
not have answered. We needed that. We absolutely needed it.
It's what we needed.
Yeah.
So he rolls in and we're like, all right, we've got enough rigging. We've got enough saws. We have an anchor point now, something we can pull with. It's not a Bobcat skid steer. It's got a little bit of ass to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start rigging this shit up and just start pulling it out and seeing what we can find. Because the dogs had hit in that area multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't quite know what that meant yet. We thought, or at least I'll speak for myself. I thought if a dog hit, there's a human.
Mm-hmm.
That was my understanding.
Some indication.
Right. So.
But worth mentioning here, too. We moved downriver. Most of the work on the first half of the first day for me was trees on the bank. For context, we have hindsight now, obviously a lot of efforts. At that point, we knew for a fact that there was still a lot of people that were in the general area across the entire river. Like there was people that were missing.
Yeah.
So in the back of your head, you're like, okay, well, they're here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like every time you cut, every time you pick something up, there's this little eddy, and we will be visiting. I cannot wait, brother. 5 years from now, whenever it's back, we will be there. But there's this little eddy that's this. One of the locals was telling us, it's just pristine, beautiful green Bermuda grass, natural little pool that's sort of separated by these cypress trees. The main river flows a little bit out of it. Beautiful tree cover. And when we got there, there's like 5 or 6 RVs that are literally looks like little Lincoln logs that somebody just tossed, flipped over themselves. Steel beams literally bent like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
There was so much debris. We were walking on the river.
Yeah.
Like we were walking on debris on the river, and all this stuff is just compiled. There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of debris.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was where we spent a lot of our time.
Well, every step you didn't know if you were going to fall through, if you were solid.
Well, that happened like 6
times
times
that happens,
too, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't understand the danger of that. But if you fall through, you plunge and say, I mean, I remember that same day, I went through and hit my nipples, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shit. Like, because you go under right there, you don't come straight back up, you're fucked.
Underneath the debris. I mean,
You're
there's
done.
dead animals. There's dead animals in there. It's
Everywhere.
stagnant water. Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah. So either way, we start just piecing this shit out of this hole. And again, you had to do it almost like sequential. Like, we got to get this, then we'll get this, and then we'll do this. And then once we get that layer, then the dogs will sniff again. And then we'll do this, and we'll do this. And it was just this cycle, right? And for me, that's when I can check out mentally. Like, that's when I'm like, all right,
You're in flow.
this is a job now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a paid job, but like, that's how.
Yeah, you have like order. You know, you like, okay, this is gonna happen,
Yeah.
then this is gonna happen.
And then at that point, I'm like, I'm trying not to be something I've done in the past that it rubs people wrong is like give direction. Like, there's no boss out there. There's no nothing.
Yep.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to try to lead and just see how that goes. Like, I'm just going to try to like do the next thing.
Yeah, people follow.
And I was like, because if I start barking, like, I'm going to lose folks. And so that was kind of the thought process. And then we just started moving, bro. Everyone was like, and people were kicking in ideas left and right. Like, well, what about this? Well, how about this? And
Well, dude, I mean, I want to say this too. I mean, dude, we were going to have to do more podcasts on this just because to see you in that environment, I think it's almost like your entire life had been, I'm like not even kidding. I think your entire life had been leading up to that. Your skill set, your acumen in the career that you chose, your competence in those things, your work ethic, your physical appearance, just all of that combined, you were kind of like the impromptu, unspoken leader. Like when Mark and these guys showed up, it's kind of like, oh, what Trip? What do you need? Trip? What do you need? And I think without that, I'm convinced. I don't know. I'm convinced that we got more done than a lot of other types of groups of people. I mean, we. No, it's not boastful. I think it's actually more of an ode to God and his strength and his power. But like we got a lot of stuff done, and a lot of that was due to your ability to lead and allow people to follow, and the competence that you had with rigging, with cutting, building the road. Like we literally, dude, Damien,
yeah,
Russell, these guys are just savages. My sons will hear of all these men building the road that allowed us to get the Mini X to start lifting stuff up. It was all of it. But you had this experience. That's why I think it's so cool. Like it's literally what you've done for work is like figuring out how this piece moves here with this and this timeline and this sequence. You had that experience and it came to the forefront and it allowed us to get stuff done.
We had the perfect team, bro. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have built a better team.
Mm-mm.
God built that team.
Yep.
And that's what I'll say is and my work ethic, just to be very clear for the listener, that is a direct reflection of my mother. 100%. The savagery of like not giving a fuck and just going, that's my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize, Mom, for using the F word even attached to a sentence with you, but I know you understand. There's a very deep tie there. If I've never quit on her, she's never quit on me.
Yeah.
It won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we had this conversation, her and I, yesterday, and it's kind of similar to what you just said, but she's like, it was the perfect worst storm for people to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to know people and you really understand in those moments what matters and who matters. That being said, and this isn't boastful either, but I'm going to tell it straight like it is because I do have ego. I don't care. Like, it's just part of me.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying to you if it didn't cross my mind of like, we're going to smoke every fucking government agency down here. and they're trained in this shit. We're better than them. We're going to go harder. We're going to go smarter. And we're going to get better every single minute. We're going to learn how to do shit better. Like that part of me will never die, no matter where I go. And it's even awkward to talk about because people probably hear it and be like, this motherfucker. But like, that's what it was. Because the quicker, more efficient, and safer we can get through these things, the better chance we have of providing closure. So it's like,
which is a weird goal in and of itself. Dude.
It is.
It's like we'll talk about that later, I guess.
But like it became obsessive quick. And that's why I said it was the perfect team. Because there were people that balanced me out too. You know as well, especially know now, I'm not listening to a lot of motherfuckers, man. But my team, oh, you damn right.
Yeah.
Like my team has something to say. They have a solution. They have an idea. Let's talk about it. I might even be like, fuck that. And then be like, well, wait a second. That was a good idea. Yeah. You know what I mean? I did that a million times.
Yeah. Just with the equipment, like the operators, that they would, hey, how are we going to get this? Okay, let's rig it here. We'll flip it this way. Then I'll use this to support that. It's like, it had to happen that way, bro. And the one thing I want to mention, this is throughout the entire time. How many times did you hear a single complaint?
None. I'm tired. None of that shit.
Zero.
None of it.
You ask somebody, hey, anybody get chain? Anybody got borrow?
No.
Anybody got a sandwich?
Be right back. Can you grab my saw?
15 people.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Changed everything for me, bro. That's another piece of that puzzle. So it's like, bro, and I think day 2 was when I was like, hey, it was literally day 2. I have to look back at my time on Instagram. I genuinely don't fucking remember.
It's a blur, bro.
But I was like, hey, I'm noticing that people are doing fundraising, this sort of thing. Like, just send me money and we'll get it into the right hands. Like, we'll do our best. We'll figure it out. And at that time, the priority, we were like, okay, we were thinking single mothers, kids.
We're thinking like, hey, maybe we'll get $1,000.
Maybe, dude. I remember when I hit 500, I was like, holy shit, guys.
Yeah.
You guys kicked in 500. This is incredible.
We had one guy who you and I both know. I don't think I told you his name, and I'm not going to say it, but $4,500 from one person.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
He's not the richest person we know.
No. And this dude flew down on his own dime anyways from Pennsylvania. Veteran. He's a lineman. That's his career, which means he busts his ass all day.
Yep.
It's a family man. He raised money, and then he's like, well, shit, this is it. I'm giving it to these guys.
I was talking about another guy, but you're dang right. Yeah.
There was another one.
There's another one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Guy.
So,
yeah.
But it started out at $500. We're like, holy shit. And I'll be straight up with you. I know that there's a lot of men that did donate and kick in. The majority of my donations came from women. It's just facts. They were the ones, every little bit added up. That's what people didn't understand. Like, I can only send $20. I'm like, bro, that's fucking incredible. You're in Maine.
Yeah.
Like, great. $20.
Dude, I had
they just kept sending it.
I had high school students send me $10.
That's what I'm saying. This is also part of what changed this shit changed a lot for me, dude. I'm not trying, we're still early on. I don't want to get too fired up just yet. But it would eventually grow into a number, and it's still growing, right? That's the reality. And we'll get into that later. And like I said, I probably need to talk to Sky. We need like a 5-hour block.
Yeah.
So we do that. That was day 2. And I think that was your day 1. So it was like a full taste of like, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
And we'd had like a brief conversation at the end of the day. Like, I'm here. This is where I'm going to be.
Yeah. I do want to say something too.
Yeah.
Because it's very nuanced for a lot of people. I have, you too, the position that you are in, that you put yourself in to be able to do that.
Yeah.
The position that you're able to be in to just detach, like what you said, from the rest of your life, I think that's incredible. That's a huge blessing. And the fact that I was able to do that, like I said, I just got back from like an 11-day trip to Greece where I didn't work. And so just to be in the position where I work for people.
Right.
And they were like, dude.
Do it.
They said, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there too. But just to be able to make that decision and be like, this is where I'm going to be. Like and to have support too. That's a massive blessing.
Yeah, I'm going to tell a little bit more of that though, real quick. You were going to do it regardless of what your employer thought. That's what I know. So, yeah, it's awesome. I love that they backed you and supported you, and I would expect nothing less out of who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard you, it didn't fucking matter. They could have been like, all right, dude, you're canned, and you've been like, sick, dude.
All right, I'll figure it out.
But that was never going to happen with
Yeah.
the people that you're associated with, but I'm saying I could hear it in you. It didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The decision had been made. And there was a lot of people, like, there was a lot of companies that showed support for their employees.
Mm-hmm.
They sent them down there, allowed them to go, which was a beautiful thing. And then there was a lot of self-employed people that were obviously down there because they have that
Our boy Luis, bro.
ability.
I mean, all these people.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'll say. I posted this on Instagram. The fact that I'm 26.
Yeah.
I have practically zero responsibilities,
Mhm.
which is a blessing in a way, whatever. It's kind of inconsequential that I went down there in a way. Like, I wasn't like leaving this stuff. What I realized probably over the course of the couple weeks and across the entire flood, like river, the whole efforts, there was probably thousands of dudes and women. But for me, the seeing the men from all over the country, all over Texas, leave their responsibilities,
Mm-hmm.
their family, their friends, their children, their obligations, their work, Luis literally was like, yeah, I just put all my stuff on. Like, I have jobs. I told him it's going to be done later. Went down there.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they literally left like all of their obligations and their responsibilities to go to this place where they likely knew zero people, likely had never been, and not just be there, but like bust their literal ass.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I will never forget.
Look, dude, and I'll say this, and I mean it with my entire heart. The group that was assembled there, I believe, in my experience, I've been on a lot of teams. A lot, whether it's in the construction industry, athletics, whatever, all these different things. None of those teams were really built by God. They were built by man. That team was built by God. And it was a conglomerate of the baddest motherfuckers I've ever been around in my entire life. Like true savages, right? Like, you better have some dark humor. You better have some metal. You better be able to take a beating.
Yep.
And you better be able to give one, right? You have to have that type of environment. And we had it.
And it took about 15 minutes to create.
Yeah. God can do it like that.
Yeah.
You know, something that we could have never built that in 10 years.
Dude, I was thinking about this. The amount, like, we talked about this, but like, for a lot of those people, for pretty much all of them, I didn't need to know literally anything other than the fact that they were there, other than the fact that Alex drove from Houston, other than the fact that Mark flew from Philly, other than the fact that all these people, like, I didn't need to know, where are you from? What do you believe? Like, what? Like, nope, you're my boy. Like, you are literally my brother now. My sons will literally hear your name.
Because, yeah, here's the thing is like, and I thought about this a lot out there. I was like, if someone came to me and they were like, I'm an atheist, would it change how I feel about them out here? And the answer is no. Because if they don't believe, great. But my God brought them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They might not know it yet.
They don't know it yet, but like that's why they're here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where my head was at. I did not care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no focus on immigration, sexual orientation, politics. No one gives a fuck. It's about the mission, right? To be in an environment like that is a blessing. It's not a blessing in the sense of like it's this amazing thing that you dream of, but it's a blessing in like you only get so many opportunities in life to be surrounded by really good fucking people, and that was one of them.
In their best moments too.
In their best moments. And so, you know, I look back on that, and I think there's a couple reasons why I think that team was so effective. I think the lack of red tape.
Yep.
A lot of these agencies, and I'm just going to dive into this part right
Go
now
ahead.
because it kind of kicked off right then.
Mm-hmm.
That day 2 is when it was really starting to spiral.
Well, dude,
up.
that first fellow we started working with before we went down, he's like, I was just at somewhere where some agency had like a rule where only a certain amount of people could be working at the same time. So like a more than a handful of people were sitting at the top of the bank, like waiting to be able to work, and he just left. He's like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
Came
you,
found
man.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Where there's work for everybody.
That was immediate. That was as soon as we got there.
Here's the reality of a situation like that. It is devastation. There isn't a book that exists that talks about how to appropriately and properly dismantle that and look for people and recover bodies and try to preserve. There's no perfect book on that because, again, this is Mother Nature, right? It changes every time. It's not like you can take a hurricane protocol and apply it here. It's not the same.
Or even a flash flood versus flood.
It's not the same. The problem or the challenge that you run into when there's all these government agencies, and I'll call them out, like search and rescue teams from every different state you could imagine. There were assets literally fucking everywhere. There were parking lots full of SUVs.
Yep.
There were campgrounds full of SUVs and these big armored trucks, and like they brought in fucking convoys of people. And to be honest with you, like I know that they have a role, but their role, they can't do their job. I'm just going to say it this way. They couldn't have done their job if it wasn't for the hands, right? The people that had no attachment, the people running equipment, the people running saws, the people moving debris, the people supporting those people doing those things. Because those people don't do that. I didn't see no chainsaws in a search and rescue team, Han. Did you?
Not where we were.
I didn't see them. That's what I'm saying. I can only speak for that location and the other location we were at.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I saw a lot of hands on hips. I saw a lot of, we're bringing the dogs in. I saw a lot of like, can you look right there? I saw a lot of that, right? And this was my experience. And that frustration started to mount for me quickly. Because in my brain, I'm like, I know there were opportunities or moments within that second day where I watched these agencies and even nonprofit people like kind of show up. The news would get them on camera. They looked fucking pristine, dressed to the nines, all kitted out and shit. Thousands of dollars worth of fucking taxpayers, equipment and tools. They never came out, right? They do their little photo op. They bounce the fuck out. They give some direction or they'd be like, we got you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We got it. And they pull the fuck out. And I wouldn't see them again until the next day, right? That was my experience. So that frustration mounted in me quick, where it was like kind of this fuck you mentality of like, I'm not listening to shit y'all got to say. Matter of fact, I'm going to be a hard ass about it. That was where my head was at. Because at the end of the day, I think that when there's a goal in mind, the people that want to meet about meetings just slow you down, right? And at that point, we're still day 2 for me, day 1 for you. That's 5 days in, 4 days in. 4. There's still hope. And this is like for perspective of the audience. There's still hope 4 days in that maybe somebody's alive. There's no fucking time to talk about that's not safe. Like, I hate to put it that way, and I know that we shouldn't be getting injured and doing these things and put people at risk and adding to the count. But what if? I can't live with that shit. So it's like, we don't have time to talk about the best approaches that you guys saw up in the fucking Rockies. We're not in the fucking Rockies. We're in hill country. And that's a fucking 300-foot cypress tree. And there's a camper 30 foot up in it. Yeah. You fucking did that in the Rockies? I don't think so. Yeah. So it was like, in my head, it was like I kind of just started to block those things out and realize what it was. A lot of it is for show, right? I'm not taking a direct shot at all first responders by any means, because there was a ton of stories of the first responders when it first hit that just like off the rails.
Dude, so military guys we worked with that I have immense amount of respect for.
Yeah. Dove right in.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's one piece of it. But there's this other side of it. And I think it's frustrating as an American because my mind automatically goes to a place of like, how much fucking money is this costing? The people that are paying the money are doing the work. That's how that's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
I paid my taxes last year. You paid yours. That tax money went to fund these agencies that are standing on the fucking bank. And if you want to try me, I got photos, bro. I got the photos of us in the hole dying, not knowing what the fuck we're doing, to be fully transparent, and up on the bank, here they are, right? And so, again, I'm not saying this to be a dick. We got receipts, just what happened. They're not all bad.
Yeah.
There's some amazing people.
I think it's important. It's kind of like the idea, you hate the sin, not the sinner.
Yeah.
I think it's less of a factor of the people, more a factor of the nature of large organizations.
For sure.
That's just organizations are inherently, they become bureaucratic. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It takes more time. There's more procedures. And I would, not a counterpoint to you, but like there has to be, they operate as like the order. Like there has to be some level of order in those situations because, like, for example, first 2 days they had to like shut down that road a little bit because there were so many people coming in that the first responders couldn't even move because there was so much traffic. So like there has to be some level of order. And I view it as like not so much a good and bad. It's like necessary evil, or not evil because I don't want to retract that. Necessary order, and then necessary, not chaos, but like we weren't the only group doing what we were doing. I guarantee it.
No.
Necessary, unaffiliated sort of people that are kind of just flying by the seat of their pants, figuring it out, just getting dirty. It's a balance, but
it wasn't structured though. That was my issue. If we had 5 different SAR teams come on site in one day, all 5 of them had gotten different direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's not their fault.
Yeah, no.
That's failed leadership, government leadership. Mm-hmm. That's who I'm talking about. The guy that had the kid on is probably competent as fuck.
Probably taking orders. He's probably doing something that he was told to do. Yeah.
But they're probably telling him like, hey, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're not going to take any crazy risk unless we can like identify that there's a human, like, you know.
Yeah.
We have to be very careful because it's going to get reported back that this individual from this team did this, and they don't want bad light. I got it. Mm-hmm. We were fortunate enough, like it doesn't fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter. So I understand it wasn't the people, but the structure of it, the necessary, was a fucking joke, is my point. Mm-hmm. I've seen a million different things in my life ran better than what they did down there. And I'm not saying that they should have had a plan and done it perfectly, but it was piss poor, in my opinion. These people all met every single morning at the same location to talk about a plan and divvy up plats and locations and where they were going to work and where they were going to operate. They didn't fucking talk. Mm-hmm. So it was like one group come in, we're doing this is what and then we got y'all, we'll do whatever. They roll out, next group comes in. At some point, right, they're just slowing shit down. And it got to the point where it was like, and I had this conversation with JR, and he's like, we're not inviting anybody in here unless we believe there's reason for them to be here. Mm-hmm. And without going into a ton of detail, basically just saying like, we're not there. Our role was never to find remains and remove the remains, right? We were trying our best to find them and clear the path so that the right assets could get to them. But our role was never to remove them and hand them in. That was never part of anything. Yeah. That's what they do. Yeah. Right. So there was a grave understanding at that point. JR was like, he basically told me, he's like, you could tell anybody to fuck off. And I was like, great. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. And so it was, I think at that point, once the leash came completely off, because I'd had this conversation with my mom after day 2 when I was driving home. And my mom, we got a cool ass relationship. But she's always been the type with me, like, do whatever you need to do. If it's morally correct, I'll come get you out of jail. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll be there. Yeah. And I have the same relationship with her. I don't care. Like, I'll be there. So JR telling me that, her taking the leash off, I was like, all right, we're running wild now. We're gonna get some shit done. Either way, I think that, again, I don't want to hammer these people because I agree with you with what you said. It's not the people. It's what they're attached to.
It's the nature of big organizations, man. Yeah. Same with companies.
For sure. It's the same thing.
That's why startups move faster. It's like
get more shit done and more successful. But then they grow to a certain level and then it falters. Yeah. Right? In the same way.
Yeah. I do want to highlight too, like, just because I don't want it to, at least for me, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing on these first responders and stuff. Because, I mean, the stories that we heard, especially early on, like, there's some dudes that literally, the one Coast Guard guy saved like 160 freaking lives.
For sure. Yeah. But that was rescue.
Yeah.
Not recovery. Yeah. Those are 2 different animals. Mm-hmm. Rescue is like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right? Those guys don't care. Yeah. Because they're first responders. They'll do whatever it takes. Yeah. I'm buddies with firefighters, police officers, they're badasses. They're going to do whatever it takes. That's their calling. I'm talking about the people that show up, when the game's already in play.
Yeah.
Right. Those are two different animals. So and anybody who knows me knows that I love first responders. That will always back that entity because of what they do. They show up, they have no clue what's happening. They can't plan for it, and they
just do it.
They just do it. I'm not talking about that, to be very clear, and I'm glad you said that. I'm talking very specifically once it started to transition to these recovery efforts and all these people that had deployed in.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same, right? And even the locals, right, like Kerr County, those interactions, the Kerr County Sheriff's Department, the interactions with them were totally different than these people that were backed or brought in from the federal government. I'm just telling, like that was my experience. We had the experience with the landowner, right, where he came in raising hell. He had like a 60-foot stretch.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, he's pissed. He said, get the F out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Walked up. They're like, all right, we're done. We're pulling out. And I remember I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, this is bullshit. Walk up. JR's up there with the sheriff because JR's, whoever.
Yeah.
We don't even know really the depth of JR.
Yeah.
But he's up there with the sheriff and they're like, what's wrong? And they could see it. And I'm like, this dude just can't,
Yeah.
And he's like, no problem. I'll get my deputies on it. They come down, talk to us. We give them our side of the story, essentially. And they're like, all right, we'll go talk to him. He sends them to his house to go deal with it. And we're back to work.
Yeah.
Right? That's the difference to me, though, of the people that are there and impacted than the people that came in. And I'm saying I can't speak for all of them because we didn't see all of them. But there was a lot of people that I did see that you could tell had this leash on them that they couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, it would have been better if we didn't have to look at them because that's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are a grown-ass, built-ass man. And you've got women down here that are 55, 60 years old removing debris, and you're standing up there on the bank with your hands on your hips because your boss said so. Not their fault. Yeah. Got it. Doesn't change how I feel about it, right?
Yeah.
So I want to be very clear on my narrative, and I understand like you not wanting to be friction about it. That's great. I have no issue calling out the failure on the leadership side.
Yeah.
And the government side. It was sporadic. It was everywhere that I saw. So it is what it is when it comes to me. But I hear where you're coming from. Today's episode is brought to you by our official sponsor, Sun Life Organics. Love, heal, and inspire. Sun Life Organics is a juice bar that has locations all across the United States, providing only the highest quality organic ingredients. I love it. Personally, I go just about every day. My favorite smoothie is the Holy Cow. It's packed with 50 grams of protein, and it always helps me recover. Go find one near you. Another official sponsor of today's podcast is Noble Origins. Noble is a grass-fed beef protein complex, utilizing everything in the cow from nose to tail. It's personally my favorite protein. I like the vanilla the best. I like to mix it with raw milk. That is my favorite combination, but the chocolate is also amazing. I also had mentioned with additional sponsor, Sun Life Organics, that they have a shake smoothie called the Holy Cow. They also utilize Noble protein in order to hit that 50 grams in that shake. So again, go order it. Check them out, nobleorigins.com. Use code ADY for 15% off. Love y'all.
Yeah. No, I mean, we saw the things we saw. That's the other thing. I mean, it's. I heard something like $100 million got pumped in just from like donations to Kerr County in like a week or something. Number might be a little off, but just dude, I heard there was churches, there was like buildings or like, places that were literally, they look like Walmarts, like so many donations that these, they literally look like Costco's. So just the amount of things and money and energy, which I think is actually an interesting point to continue on maybe later, but immediately after it happened, like so much influx of donations, people, resources, all this stuff. It's like almost overwhelming how much stuff, because like these people are like, dude, we don't, like, this is why they said stop, like we don't need any more donations, because in reality you only need so many cases. You don't need millions of bottles of water, right? It's like you don't need millions of like all this stuff. So it's like, hold up, we gotta freaking pause. What I liked, the fact that we were unaffiliated, while that stuff was getting figured out, we could still go do work. You know what I mean? Like we weren't, by the grace of God, in my opinion, we weren't caught up in that. We could still just go ahead. So the frustrating part was when that type of stuff would then impede our ability to be able to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I do want to give a shout out real quick. We talked about this before we started recording, but it is important because I know I sound like an asshole sometimes with like where I stand on things, and that's fine. It's just my truth. I really don't give a fuck anymore. I lost that in the last 3 weeks. There was a nonprofit though that like did show up, and I'm sure there were plenty of them, right? Again, this is just
our experience.
I want to make that very clear. So before anyone gets butthurt and says, like, I got it. I understand that. I'm giving you our experience. But there was a guy named John Rourke, and he was affiliated or ran the nonprofit We Fund the Blue organization. He's from Florida. The floods happened. This dude got on a flight, left his family, put together a team, comes out there, starts taking in donations, and I can tell you, just again from our experience, he came by multiple times a day. I know he was going to other places multiple times a day. You ask and you shall receive with that dude. What do you need? This is what I need. You know how many people would ask us that question and never deliver? Maybe it's not their fault, but this dude was a man of his word. So I have the ultimate respect for him, his organization. If I ever am forced to give to a nonprofit, it'll be his. This man also donated money to us that he had gotten. Like ultimate respect. Yeah. But he always made sure we were fed endless amounts of food. Yeah. Tools, equipment, connections, like whatever. It did not matter. Like he showed up, he showed out. And I'm sure there was plenty like that. But on the same flip side of that coin, and like I said, I'm not trying to flip to negative constantly, but I'm trying to give the most realistic perspective that I had. I think it was a weak-ass cop-out for a lot of people to be like, oh, they said they don't want people down there. We're going to go on Monday once everything's organized. And in my head, I'm like, you think these motherfuckers are going to have this organized by Monday? They don't know their head from their ass. Yeah. They don't know. Nobody knows what's going on right now. But we need people. And I would say it in the post, like, I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Look at this work. There's plenty of it. And so I think that there are, and they'll know if they listen to this. It's fine. I don't even need to point out their organizations. It is what it is. They were posting some awesome content. You know what I'm saying? Building their brand, I'm talking about podcasts. I want you to go look at how many fucking podcast clips I dropped during this time frame. Go ahead. I had people asking, like, did you quit the podcast? Did you give up? I'm like, fuck no, there's other important shit happening right now. But you look at these podcasts, these nonprofits, these churches, not all of them, again. Yeah. But I witnessed some of them. They used it as an opportunity to grow their platform. To me, that makes you a fucking joke. Yeah. So I didn't see him down there. Yeah. I'm just telling you, like, now if you kick in funds, like, great. You're kicking in money, great. There's people that couldn't be down there for whatever reason, and a lot of those people gave to different organizations or to us or whatever. And like, I feel you, I appreciate you. That's love. I understand. But like, if you're going to talk about it and you're going to preach about it and you're going to get on there, you're going to come down once a week and make this epic content about this is how we show up in Texas. This is how we get shit done. Fuck you. Like, that's just me. No, dude. And I know you were much better spoken and like softer around shit like this. Yeah. Well, that's my head though.
My thought on this was pretty simple, to be honest, because I went down there and I'm a broken sinner, so I'm not perfect about it, but like, I do my best to subscribe to a life quote for me, one of my favorite quotes in life. Preach the gospel. St. Francis of Assisi said, preach the gospel always, and if necessary, use words. That I do my best for that to be a guiding principle in my life. Actions, express, priority. I didn't want to talk about it. When I went down there, I was like, I'm gonna tell people I work with, my family, I don't want people to know. Because there's like this element, it's inherently self-aggrandizing. Like, that's just how social media is. You 100%. Have to be able to swallow that part of it. It's just how it is. But when you started talking about donations, I'm like, dude, if I don't want to come across as like slightly self-aggrandizing or whatnot, and then I allow that fear to determine my ability to help these people via donations, that would be a cowardly move. So the reason I say that is like, I really did not want to post about it, to be honest. I take that how you want.
I'm with you.
Might be virtue signaling. I don't even know, but I didn't want to, because I'm like, I don't want this to be one of those things where it's like, oh, look at me, I'm freaking great, I'm going down to Kerrville, help out, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it was about at all. But when we started getting these donations, dude, I posted 7 Instagram stories. I have 2,000 followers. You have like 3,000 or 4,000. I posted like 7 Instagram stories. I didn't even really post about it on my actual page.
Right.
Those stories were seen by like a couple hundred people at a time. And we've raised like a remarkable amount of money.
Yeah.
And so my thought on it is like, oh, okay. This is why I also posted on my Instagram about like social media being a tool.
Yeah.
We did our best, and I think we did a successful job at using it for good. And that was just a big thing for me to get over, because I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to post about it, because that's, like you said, like that to me.
You look like a cuck. That's how it feels.
It's just not, I don't know. I just think it's very inauthentic, and really it's the praying in public idea. It's like, it's better to pray in private. But the use of social media in this context that you and I decided to use it, I said in the video, that money, and maybe we can get into the experiences about like where that money's going, that literally could not and would not have happened, like under zero circumstance, unless we cold outreach to thousands of people via email or handwritten letters or text.
There's no time for that shit.
Exactly. Would not have happened.
No.
The families that have gotten that money, the families that will get that money, would not have that money if it were not for us posting it on Instagram, which sounds kind of funny to say, but then the people that saw it saying, you know what, I'm going to send $4,500 of my own cash to this dude's private Venmo. No tax deduction, no notoriety. Nobody will ever know that you did it except for me and you. That's pretty incredible, dude. We had like, we're pushing like probably 175, 200 different individual donations. That's incredible.
I tell you what gave me peace on that same perspective you're talking about, and it happened the first day I was down there. I was like, if I'm going to do it, it has to be as realistic as possible, right? That's where the truck bed shit came from. I'm not going to put together some fucking great content like, this is it. This is what we're doing. And that's honestly what a man looks like after work in the real world. He's at his truck bed saying, holy fuck, I can't wait to get home to my wife and kids and eat dinner, right? But the thought that crossed my mind was, okay, I don't know how many followers I have. I think between like, it's in the 2000s actually. But I was like, if 20% of these people that don't know who I am think that I'm a douchebag for this, but we didn't know 10 days from then we were going to be able to buy 2 fifth wheels and give families homes. I'm taking that trade all day. Fuck that 20%.
100%.
Think whatever they want, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care, because you know, and I know, when you see these people, like, and the impact that the donations that all of these people that, first off, I'm a recovering addict, dude. I hit 5 years sober during this whole experience.
Amen.
Right? You're 27, you said?
6.
Okay. Just for context, the people that follow, we're right at about $30,000 for what it's worth.
Right underneath.
Yeah. Sent that money to us.
Yeah.
A recovering addict and a 26-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Wild behavior. So for me, what that really represented is like the people that know us for who we are. And honestly, I got money from people that don't know me.
Yeah, that's where most of them came from.
So with that being said, in those moments when people started sending money, I was like, this is all worth it. I don't give a fuck if there's somebody out there that's like, this motherfucker, right? If it gets another dollar into another person's hands that they can do something with their family, it's worth it. I'll deal with those repercussions later.
Yeah.
Because I sleep at night knowing I was there, right? That's my frustration.
Yeah.
And then we talked about this numerous times out there. I was like, I'm trying not to fucking, because like, I'm a spiteful motherfucker. It drives me. I want a bigger chip on my shoulder. I want someone to be competitive and be like, no, this is how you should.
Yeah.
Nope, fuck that. We're doing it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm driven off of that, and I understand that the imbalance or like how that can't be healthy all the time. I got it. You're much more like zen the fuck out.
But it's cool to me to think about, like, temperamentally we're different. I mean, everybody we were working with was different backgrounds and whatnot, different skill sets. But like you said, it literally did not matter.
It created a balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
It did not matter at all.
Because we would get off calls and I'd be like, damn, I was an asshole. Let me cost my fucker back, man. Like, it was like
I remember, you did actually. I can't remember exactly what we were talking about. But yeah, that's funny. But dude, I said this on Instagram as well. You don't even have you don't have the understanding that I have. Right. You didn't get to shake this father's hand. You didn't get to. I literally saw a single mother of 4 children that lost everything that they owned because they moved it into an RV a week before the flood. I looked her in the eyes. I gave her a hug. I spoke with her children and got to give a life-changing amount of money so that she could create a stable environment for her children. The people that gave that money, that's why I think it's important to share, because they're like, I think it's cool to the people that gave it to see that, but they didn't get to actually experience it. They don't have that understanding.
Right.
So I said this in the video, the only understanding they have is what they can glean from my face and my voice in a video on their screen. But the fact that that's still, the possibility of that compelled people to give that much money, I feel extremely, I was talking to my mom too, it's like one of the biggest blessings for me. It's like selfish in a way, because like I feel like it's not about me, but I'm like, dude, this is like arguably one of the greatest experiences of my entire life. And it feels good. Like, it feels amazing that I get to be a conduit. I got to be the person that shook that guy's hand.
Right.
I get to be the person that goes and talks to these random people in places I've never been, that I've never met, and like actually create relationships with. It's an incredible blessing. But once again, I think it's so easy to get focused on like dude, we've talked about this a lot. It's very easy to get focused on like can't believe this, can't believe that, this person did this, but the fact that literally these people gave that much money to you and I, like you said, like that's kind of dumb in a way. Like, it's kind of a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
Private Venmo, your private Venmo.
It is, but again, to your point, and I do want to tag this into it. I think you have physical traits that make you impactful in those environments. I don't think those are your greatest assets, though. I think that a lot of times you get tagged like dumb athlete, right? Like that shit used to happen all the time. I think that's probably why you focus so hard on your intellect. I just don't give a fuck. But I think that for you were perfect, because I wasn't going to raise all that money. I didn't have, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You jumped in, and then it just started. Then it was like, got competitive, honestly. I was like, all right, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like, let's get
more money. Yeah.
But we're competing to do a good thing. It wasn't competitive. But it was like, it was great. But I realized quickly, I was like, okay, this is like his ultimate role in this is he's good at community. He's approachable. He's soft-spoken. He can make connections. He can find people. And like, I really believe that's what God had in store for you.
Yeah.
I really do. And we had the conversation early on. I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're meant for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to run the saw and equipment and spit and be pissed off and like do that. Right. But I was like, it's kind of great because you can honestly like kind of pull off of that side a little bit and go do the second side of this. That's arguably more important, or just as important. Like there's no level of importance in those two things. It's just like
different. It's just different.
It all fucking matters in a big way. And so I know this, and like, I'm going to give you your flowers fully. None of what we're talking about right now transpires if you don't show up that day. Flat out. I don't know if the team gets built the same. No, that's the point. Like, everything that happened had to happen in order for us to be having this conversation.
100%.
So if you don't respond to that post, I knew instantly what kind of, I thought I knew what kind of man you were before, right? Like, I'd been around enough.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good man. But when you showed up like that, I was like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know you had that grit in you. I really didn't. I did not know that. I was like, I know he's physically capable. I know he's smart. I know he's strong, handsome as fuck. Like, I know all that, you know? And you guys can be honest, he's definitely the most handsome guy that's ever been in the studio.
Come on.
I just like making him turn red. Either way.
You,
My point is this.
I'm just thinking about like jokes with Mark and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, we ragged on him a long time for his looks. But that joke aside, I got to see his grit. And for me, that's the ultimate mark of a man. That's just me. And you don't have to, you can be taught grit, but you can also suffer to find it, right? There was not a quit in you. You're like, we need this, we're going. There's a picture of us, and I think I'll try to make it the thumbnail. But this was probably, it would have been day 6 for you, I think, or day 5 or 6 for you, or day 7 or 8 for me. There's a picture of us, though. And you can look in our face, especially once I black and whited it, and you can tell what's coming out, right? Like, it is. But in that moment, what people don't realize when they see that picture, that if you look at it, it looks like we look like shit.
Yeah.
But the conversations you and I were having away from that photo, to be totally transparent, were like, this is the most fulfilling thing I've ever been able to be a part of.
Amen.
And it was worth the grit, the pain, the suffer, the struggle, the no sleep, the frustration, all of it. I'd trade it in a heartbeat, dude.
Dude, it's I want to speak on that. I appreciate you saying that. We've talked about this. Like, it's you could say it's like a virtuous thing to do, to go out there. In a strange way, it almost felt selfish. Like, it wasn't, but I have not had a more fulfilling, invigorating, emotionally draining, just given everything that was going on, physically draining time in my entire life. Literally, hands down, 100% the most emotionally draining, physically draining, spiritually draining time in my entire life. It was the time of my life thus far. Like, we've talked about this. I feel like I had a psychedelic experience. Legitimately, I've never done psychedelics, but like, from what I know, you mentioned like things that were woven. Like, I had neural circuits that were wired a certain way, and they are no longer that way. And to me, it's like, it's hard to comprehend, because this is not like boastful at all. I mean, you'll hear it in our voice whether or not you think it's boastful. 4 or 5 hours of sleep for 7 straight days for me. I don't even know how much they were filling up gas for free. Do you know that in Hunt?
No,
I didn't know that either until last week. I don't know how much. Thousands of miles on my car, going back and forth between Austin. Literally, there was a day where I ate a breakfast taco, carrots and tzatziki sauce, probably 6 Monsters, and a whole can of Zen or nicotine. And so the point is, practically no sleep, 4+ hours a day in a car, working outside in sun that's so hot, my freaking rearview mirror melted off inside my window, melted off. Using saws, getting wet, just like all of that stuff. But every morning I wake up before I hit that 2-hour drive, and I felt like I could conquer the world. Yeah. I felt like I felt like I needed less sleep. I felt like I needed less food. And I think that's an important lesson in the idea of voluntary self-sacrifice. Like, God will, like, this is what I think, when in the Lord's Prayer, give us today our daily bread, I think that's what that is. Like, that's the daily bread. We didn't have to have food. We didn't have to have, even though you're literally grabbing your meal preps that were cold.
I didn't miss a meal for what it's worth. He can say he did this 6 Monster Energy thing, whatever the fuck, but I didn't miss a meal. I hit my macros every fucking day.
Yeah, you did. That's true. But my point is, it was a lesson for me, because when we talked about this, the city, just different things that have changed in my perspective, good or bad, for better or for worse. What I notice is that in the city, oftentimes, for me included, this is not shade on other people, for my life, it's my convenience, it's my job, it's my salary, it's my health, it's my, me, I. It's about me.
100%.
In that moment, I told my mom, that is the literal least I've ever thought about myself in my entire life, in those couple weeks.
And every human out there.
Every single person we're around.
In the same way.
Dude, so I have a philosophy on this that I've been thinking on. There's a verse that says God is near the brokenhearted, essentially. I believe that he is near the brokenhearted. through the Holy Spirit that is shown through the voluntary acts of other people. I said this on Instagram too.
Damn, dude, you did a lot on Instagram.
I did. I would just be driving. I'm like, dude, I need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Why do you feel God so much in the aftermath of tragedy or accident? I believe that God is truth, which means like the most whole thing, the most consistent thing, the most perfect thing. Truth is love, which like love is the embodiment of truth. Love is kind of this ambiguous sort of like ethereal term. What it is voluntary self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
It's an action, and in action, it's voluntary self-sacrifice. The reason that you feel God in that space, I don't know about you, it literally felt to me like a real feeling. Like when I would come to Austin at night, I would feel much different than when I would be out there, and it was like a literal like encompassing feeling. Mm-hmm. I believe that you feel that because there's thousands of people there voluntarily self-sacrificing everything that they have in their life for people, and it's just like, I mean, dude, it's like it's like a fountain of energy. You know what I mean? Like you felt it.
Well, you're not gonna quit on that guy.
No.
And I mean, I'll be honest about it. I'm not a freak. I got tired.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what played in my head, and I've shared this with you. If my kid was out there, I'd want motherfuckers like us doing what we're doing, because that could happen to me one day. We're not exempt from that shit.
And you know who would be the first people to do it?
The people that were there.
People in Kerr County, the people, JR.
That's what I'm saying.
They would be the first people to help us out.
100%. And that goes into this thought of like, I had this one day we were working, and I was like, all right, who's out here? Right? And I want to make sure everyone understands this for full perspective too. It wasn't just me and Nolan and 6 guys.
No.
It was a shitload of people that literally
all over the country.
Just volunteers. No attachment, no affiliation. And then there was nonprofits, and then there was affiliations. And like I said, everyone played their role.
We worked with at the back end.
Equisearch.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I'll shout them out too. They're also a great nonprofit. They were the shit.
Incredible.
But you could tell as soon as you met them why they were there. Mm-hmm. And then I got to learn why that was even created. Right? Once you get the backstory on that, things change. Right?
You understand.
But it was a conglomerate of people that actually gave a fuck. And they were the type of people I like to work with. You make a call, I need a 210, 100-foot arm. Give me an hour. Click.
Bam.
It's coming.
Shows up.
I don't have that. You don't have to call. Where's it? It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was like working with them people. You just want to get some shit done. Mm-hmm. Right? But my point is this. Who was out there? And this is why I made the post I did make about social media and it being bullshit. Mm-hmm. These people that you and I've done it. I've glamorized individuals where I'm like, wow, that's what it's like to be a good man and a good person, and that's what it looks like. Fuck all that, man. I met a lot of really good men much better than me in the last 3 weeks. I mean, the best type of men and women. Like, I don't want to single out men in this, but I do want to speak on men for a second.
Yeah.
They weren't clean groomed. Shirt wasn't tucked in, right? Tobacco spit rolling out of the side of their fucking face. Haven't slept in days and just working, right? I'm not speaking about this gentleman attached to what I just said, but for example, the landowner of the second location we were at, there were 10 bodies found on his property, right?
We should get into that in a bit.
This man was out there all day, every single day, and you could see, I saw pain on a lot of faces, including my own. It was visceral with him. He was broken. It was his property. He felt obligated to figure it the fuck out. He's the one who got that nonprofit, who handled shit, that called the right people, that made the connections, that got the right people there. If you met this man in town, you just a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a country town. That's what it would look like. That's what a leader looks like. That's what a good heart looks like. That's what a man of God looks like. Completely imperfect, right? So I had this thought of like, who's out here? And it's a conglomerate of a bunch of imperfect souls that really, really, really have good hearts. You can't see the heart from the outside or an Instagram page. You can hear it and feel it sometimes, but most of the time, you're not judging someone off their heart when you're talking about social media.
Yeah.
It's appearance-based, it's affiliate-based, it's who their sponsorships, their followings, their clout, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That shit didn't matter out there. We worked with someone who has a massive following.
Yeah.
Right? And she was a badass, right? A badass.
Yeah.
There was no clout involved with that
I
with
don't
her.
think she posted about it.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't. Other than to get donations.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which she brought some in too. So that's not me taking a shot at influencers.
No.
Because there's certainly lots of them that have fantastic hearts, right? Like I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's the people that come together in those moments. You're not looking around at a bunch of perfect souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the person talking about how great they are, perfect they are, this is their life. That's not who's out there, man. It's real Americans.
Yep.
Right? And that created a shift within me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Of like, wait, who am I glamorizing? Who am I looking up to? Who do I want in my circle?
Who do you want to be around? Who do you want to raise your children around? Who do you want to be in community with? Who do you want to go to church with?
It uprooted,
all those things.
It uprooted me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can describe it, actually.
Yeah.
That experience uprooted where I existed. You talked about it changing your neural pathways. Like, I'm a little bit more redneck, so it uprooted me, man. like, same thing, right? It changed, and people were like, "Oh, it changed his life." Like, okay, it did.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't talk to anyone who was there that's not the story.
Not even a little, even if they was there for 2-3 days.
It changed them, right? And so I think that, again, and we haven't gotten into any of this part, and we've only got like 20 minutes left in this block, and I honestly don't even know if we should dive into this part, because I think I don't think it's time yet. So we're going to record again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll block it out whenever we'll talk. But there's things we do need to talk about that we haven't gotten into. I do, on the high side of things, again, I keep giving this man his flowers. But listen, I'm a hard motherfucker to be around when I'm in that mode. I know that. But this man brought me balance. Like, I'd look at him and be like, fuck, he looks really calm. He looks good. And I don't know, under the surface, he might have been. But in my head, I was like, I don't look calm. I look like I'm flipping the fuck out. But I would look to you in those moments when I felt like I was actually starting to get overwhelmed. I would try to find you, and it would restabilize me. Mm. There are maybe 5 people on this planet that have that ability, and you're one of them. And that was built in 3 days.
Yeah.
So my point to that is, like, my love for you, my respect for you, I can honestly say this, and I mean this. There's no one in this city that we're sitting in right now, Austin, Texas, that has the ability to say that Trip Ison loves or respects them more than he does Nolan. Like, it doesn't exist.
Wow.
That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of what I witnessed. And I watched you, like, because I'll shoot you straight. Like, you see all the philosophical shit. I bust your balls about it all the time. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Do you apply it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'd see it all the time. Like, oh, this guy.
Another book post.
But this guy literally is real. Like, he is the real deal. And he would be out there. We would be dying. And he'd be like, did you ever hear what this philosopher said? And I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck that is, man. Like, we said Tripostotle at one point.
Yeah,
We're going to make our own. But, like, he's out there still trying to spread the good in the midst of this very bad situation. Just call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's still trying to spread good. He's meeting the locals. He's making the connections. And that's when I was like, he needs to be the one to find where this money goes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's just not me. Right? And that's okay.
Yeah. I mean.
But you're like, man, your gifts, and I want to make sure you know this. I bust your balls about your looks all the time and your athleticism and, you know, the way that you're deeply philosophical. I can't even say the fucking word. Philosophical and shit. I want you to know you're a good man. Above all that. Mm. That shit's great. That's important. D1 pitcher. Cool, man. None of that shit showed up. Nolan showed up, the man. And that has, I'm sure has a lot to do with your upbringing, family stuff, experiences in life, right? Your connection with God. I'm sure all that created this.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, my respect for you, my love for you, good luck. I'll smack a motherfucker up anywhere, anytime if they say anything bad about Nolan. Like, it's done. That's the bond that was created so quick. And those environments are the only environments that build those bonds.
Yeah.
It's the same as when you played sports, though. Your teammates were your brothers, even if you had different viewpoints on things, because you suffered with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he's made of. I know if I look over my shoulder, you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. No questions asked, right? So, unfortunately, in life, we have to have those experiences in order to build those connections and those bonds. And I was thinking about this, like, how do we do that without that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have that answer.
I don't know if you can, to be honest.
Me neither, because I've never felt anything. I've never had something pull at me so deeply and conflict me so much and hurt, and then at the same time fill me so quickly. Like, that's it. I don't even know if I'm wording that good or right, but like, as a man, that was hard for me.
Yeah. I'm
like, I feel like so much is taking out, and then somehow, some way, like so much is pouring in, and it's like, it's the conduit piece, though, that you said. That resonated with me.
Yeah. From
like an electrical perspective. I was like, oh, it makes a shitload of sense. That's what it is. That's all we are. Mm-hmm. And I've said this, and I want to be very clear on this too. I don't want celebration. I don't want none of that shit. I want people to kick in more money so we can give away more.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Mm-hmm. And I want everyone to know that who I am sitting here right now today is a direct reflection of God and my mom. Mm-hmm. And other great mentors along the path. Like, I name drop them, but like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of people. It takes a village. This is a reflection of them. Mm-hmm. I ain't shit, dude.
Yeah.
Right? If I didn't have any of them or God, I'm nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that was so humbling for me to realize that, like, there are so many people in my life that have poured into me, and I would lean on in those moments that I haven't talked to in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, that dude would do this.
Yeah, he'd be here.
He would be doing 100%. This, or like he would show up, or I would get a call from somebody I haven't talked to in a decade. Like, hey, I saw your post. We're going to donate, but I saw your face too. You good?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Dude, amen to that.
And I was like, man, you have no idea what that means.
Yeah, we could speak on that for a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be lying to you if it kind of feels uncomfortable to hear you say that type of stuff, just because it's like, I don't know. It's very endearing, and I'm going to try to not be emotional, but I genuinely appreciate you saying that. I really do. I know that it's reciprocated, because in the same way that you said that you look to me, the amount of times I looked at you and you were rigging something or you were cutting something, that just how maybe I made you calm, or like sort of, I saw you, I'm like, okay, time to get back the fuck after it. Like, time to get, Trip, what do you need? We need a rig. We need to do this. We need to go climb on this damn fiberglass that's broken with this steel in water that's with dead animals, where we could literally fall and impale ourselves on a tree or metal or whatever the hell it was. I saw you doing it, and so then I'm right there. So it's the same type of way. I feel genuinely like I consider myself blessed to have been with you in that moment, in those moments, to have what is 100% a transformative experience for me have happened with you. And similarly, dude, I mean, you drove more than me. You worked harder than me. Spent more money than me. You're the one who started it. I wouldn't have gone out there without you. In a way, it's like an older brother in a way. I remember when we were rigging and you sent me that text. I'll never forget that text. It might have been inconsequential to you, but that meant a lot. And so, I mean, I'll do a solo episode where I'll give you the extent of your flowers that you deserve.
I don't want to be on it.
No.
I don't want to sit there.
But it's reciprocated, man, and it's just crazy, bro. Like you said this. You felt like something was pulling out of you, but also being poured in. I don't cry like a lot. Mm-hmm. I would catch myself, not even practically, literally every single day, driving there or driving back, when we're taking a break, I would just start crying. Like, literally just start crying, thinking about the stuff we saw, like, I don't know, maybe you were prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for a lot of the stuff we saw, to be honest. I wasn't prepared for the conversations we had, the stories that we heard, the people that we met and how they were affected. Like, even, we'll get into it at another point, but like the call that I had right before this. What I view that as is that's God working in our hearts for me. And this idea, and I don't mean to be like coy about the flood, but I think there's this idea across the Bible, but also across all civilization and their stories. What happens before renewal? It's a flood.
Yeah.
It's the uprooting. That's what happens before renewal in the Bible and all of these civilization stories. And very much so in a real way, I feel like that happened in me as a man. Like, that was the flood. And I was uprooted, but in the same way, I feel like God's also grounded me in certain truths that I lost perspective on. And I think you and I can relate in that way, that the emotion of it all, dude, it's like, it's tough to, I'm sitting here rambling, but like, you literally just can't prepare to see like a bloody pair of little girl shorts. You can't prepare to see, I don't even want to say, you know what I'm trying to say, like, right. I don't even want to say the other stuff that we saw. You just can't prepare for that. But here's the thing. One thing in particular that I saw and a group of us saw, you didn't see, but literally 0% chance that any of us would have been there, and likely it wouldn't have happened unless you were who you were and showed up how you did. Every single dollar, every single hour, every single lack of sleep, every single tear that I cried, every single ounce of effort that I or anybody on the team put in, times probably 100, is worth it for what we were able to do.
Yeah.
For a group of people we will never meet.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the visual part doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
What fucked with me the most about that is I was cutting on that pile for an hour and a half. I didn't, I didn't fucking know. And so every time I ran the saw, every moment after that, that's all was in my head. Right? Fuck.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot tied into that, but what I do want to hit on the community piece, because I want to spend a lot of the next episode talking about like the not cool shit, because I think it's important. What it taught me is, moving forward in my life, it's not about you don't build community based off what it looks like. I want to build community based off what it feels like. Because I learned out there the looks of the community that was built, there was no rhythm or similarities. We all look different.
JR's texted you.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good example, but it's like that on repeat for everybody. And I think that really taught me a lot, man. I've always tried to believe that, treat the homeless man the same as the CEO, and I've tried to live that way. But out there, again, no one gives a shit.
I don't even know what most of the dudes do for work.
No clue. No clue.
Yeah.
The pickle juice guy, I don't even know where he came. That's the thing about these guys. At least 5 of them would be numerous occasions. I got to go to the VA in the morning, then I'll be out here.
Yeah.
You know, these are guys. These aren't young. There was more older people there than there was young. There was a lot of young guys that showed up that were incredible. Russell, Luis. Yeah. I mean, these guys. One of them was working night shift and working all day.
Bro.
There's a ton of insanity there. But when I think about it, again, it doesn't look like anything. It feels like something. And that's what's incredible to me.
It's visceral, dude.
It's changed. That part of me has changed. I don't give a shit what you look like anymore. I need to feel it.
You're still gonna make jokes.
Yeah. Well, I'm still gonna make fun of your looks.
I'm kidding.
I mean, look.
No.
He's probably
no.
All right, I'll back off of him. He deserves it a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, and you didn't get to go to Sandy Creek. We have 8 minutes, and I do want to highlight that location real quick. Sandy Creek's upriver,
Yeah.
more north, more west, right? Leander area. It's in Travis County. Also deeply impacted. Totally different environment though, man. That's what I think a lot of people don't quite understand is like down in Kerr County, a lot of those areas are like really open. Like they seemed restricted when we were there. Like, oh man, this is crazy. The recovery efforts of the people that were up in Sandy Creek well before our group got there. Incredible.
Really?
Incredible. I was blown away, bro. And you know what was crazy about that is starting to talk to these people and get to know them. They're like, yeah, it's because the red tape hadn't been here yet. Because everything went to Kerr County because there's a lot of people.
Dude.
And but you got there and you saw their systems that they had in place. Dialed, bro. Yeah. There was a reason behind everything, which I respect. Like nothing is just like off the hip. Yeah. It's like, no, we learned this lesson. This is why we're applying it this way. But the areas that they were able to get into, bro, and do recoveries, insane.
Yeah.
Like literally insane. You're talking about like cutting trees is one thing. You're cutting roads.
Yeah.
Like you can't get in there. These people, volunteers, literally walking the riverbanks and waders for days.
Yeah.
Finding, like at the last one we were at in Sandy Creek, like finding decomp in the water.
Yeah.
Right? Dogs hit it. It's human decomp. There it is. Like those people, that wasn't found by a helicopter or sonar or fucking.
Wouldn't have been found unless those dudes were out there.
Nah. It was Jack and Jill walking the riverbank and saying, what's that? Like that's what brings closure. Right? And I'm not saying that other people didn't. I'm saying like I just want to shout those people out because you don't hear a lot about the Sandy Creek area in the media coverage, but the people up there, just as beautiful, just as wonderful.
Yeah.
Like it was the same thing replicated. I guess that's what I'm trying to highlight.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what location. The good was everywhere. Right? And that's why I kind of want to end it on that note because I know I can get hyper fixated on a lot of other things. But the good of it, like the net worth or value of it was good people, right? Like so many good people. We joked about it, but like it's true. There were people of, I think they were from India.
Yeah.
Showed up with
bringing food,
curry.
Yeah.
It was bomb.
Yeah.
But like, and then people from here and there and like food from people would literally cook and just bring it.
Yeah.
To site. Like here.
Take it.
Go to the next place. That was their service. We're not able to stay moving without that. Right? The John Rourke guy that I talked about, I didn't talk to him the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. Right? And he'll laugh at this because he knows.
Yeah.
But he's like, what do you guys need? And I was like, pickle juice.
Yeah.
I was like, we need pickle juice.
A lot of it.
Ton. He came back in 2 hours the first time with like, it had to be 20 cases of electrolyte. Yeah. It's no lie.
Yeah.
Just I'm like, where the fuck? And he's like, look what I got. We got electrolyte. I was like, I said pickle juice. Right? That's just me being a dick. But he did end up coming with cases of pickle juice too.
And it hit.
And then the guy we called pickle juice, who was like one of the most senile men I've ever been around in my life. I love him. I got to find out where the hell he's even at. I don't even know if he knows where he is, but he's an incredible person. The first day he was out there, he went into like a full body convulsion cramp, dude. Like locked up. Drinks the pickle juice, pops back up.
Like, I'm ready.
This dude, he's like, what do you guys need for tomorrow? I was like, if you can find pickle juice. This dude went to an H-E-B in a different county and bought him out of pickle juice and showed up with that. People were leaving what we were doing, right? And not going home necessarily. They were going to Home Depot. They were going to the saw shop. They were going to H-E-B. Like it was
going to pick up equipment, going to
whatever it takes, dude. Whatever it takes. Nobody was worried about cost. There was no discussion of it. I remember even like when we were talking about the first day, like going to Home Depot or whatever, it was like, we'll figure it out. Like who cares?
I want to speak on that because you talked about this with me, and I think it's very interesting. My thought process, this is why I don't feel like it's super virtuous in a way. Like it's like it wasn't a thought. And I'm not some dude with a lot of like a ton of discretionary income, but like it literally wasn't a thought because this is how I believe God works. I went to Home Depot. And God knows how much we've spent. I mean, I literally don't know how much we spent over the last couple weeks.
No clue.
Don't know.
I can tell you not $1 of it was the donations.
No.
And I'm not saying that to be self-grandiose. I'm just keeping it real with the people that donated.
Dude, yeah, we'll have to get into that. Well, yeah, that'll have to be another episode. But I believe that God works that way. And the reason that it's so easy to spend that money is because there is a 0% chance that God does not reward that type of action. Not for you and I alone, but for every single person. Every single person that, because speed is important, right? And if you sit there like, oh, well, this, and this, I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe I'm dumb, but I just believe there's like 0% chance that God does not reward that. But here's what the point: it might not be monetary. I can almost guarantee you, in my life, it won't be monetary. I'm already seeing the fruits of other things that will not be monetary.
There's things happening in your life that and this is not me being like an arrogant asshole. This is me, like, there were moments we had some really deep conversations, which I hope one day we can, like, uncover those things. But in my mind, I'm like, I think I know how his gifts are going to show up, right? Yeah. That's what I wanted to believe in my heart. And I know we rode your ass about it, but, like, that was, without going into any detail, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I was like, it doesn't come back the same way. My brain works a little bit flipped, though. It's less about the reward that comes back. It's more about me living with the regret if I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
That scares me. You know what I mean? If you don't, think about it this way. If you don't show up, right? A, we're not having this discussion. B, we weren't able to help these families. 3, our team doesn't really exist. Like, all these things doesn't happen. That regret is what got me there. Yeah. That's what got me to Kerrville. Was the regret piece of like, I can't fucking lay here while there's people out there putting out. I could probably be decent at helping. Like maybe I can make an impact. I can't. Yeah. That's spitting in God's face, right? For me. Yeah. So it was like, I don't care how he rewards it, or if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. But I can sleep. And I think that's what helps me sleep now, right? And like, there's been nights where I've told you, like, during this process, like, 25 minutes. Yeah. Because I can't turn it off. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, we got to do this. We need this, that this needs to be better. We've got to improve here. We need this equipment. Why did we do that yesterday? You know, yeah. That's where my brain goes. And then it's like, next thing you know, it's 3:30. I got to be up at 4. Right. I think that when I reflect on it to what you just said is like, it didn't matter. I didn't fall asleep at the wheel. I wasn't even tired.
No, that's the craziest part.
I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good. We got places to be. We got things to do. But it's because I believe I knew in my whole heart there was 1,000, 10,000, how many ever people that were going through the exact same thing, that felt the exact same way or similar, that were going to show up. That was enough for me. It's the best cocaine I ever sniffed. Dude. Right? And it was that. And before we depart from this one, I got to give one more person a shout out. There's a dude in Austin who, if you would have asked me, do I think that this person would show up? I don't know if I'd have told you yes. Right? I don't. I honestly can't say. I would have expected, I'll put it this way, I would have anticipated a lot of people to show up before he did. But he is a man of service, and I should have known because I knew him through the ultramarathon space. The first time I ever met him, he literally drove to an ultramarathon, showed up with like a first aid kit, and was just repairing people's feet. Like, that's how I met him. Yeah. He's like, you want me to get your feet? And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? No. I'm like, 80 miles deep. Sure, dude. Yeah. You do whatever. Yeah. You're a tow guy. That's cool. He reached out, though, in the same way. He didn't have to. He came down numerous times. He would bring people with him. He'd never touched a chainsaw. He learned how to run a chainsaw. He had the work ethic. He had the grit. He had the backbone. And his name's Griffin Wooden. But you meet him in person out here, so I'm saying the look shit don't matter. Yep. It's what's inside. You wouldn't look at him and be like, that guy is definitely the type of guy to go. And this is not a shot at him. It's just like, it is what it is. But he showed up ready to go, dude. Like, period. And then he went to a group that he runs and put it out like, hey, there's people down there and they need work. If any of you guys want to volunteer, if not, you better kick in some donations because there's shit happening. Like he had the mettle to do that.
Yeah.
Knowing that it might rub some people wrong, but it didn't matter because he'd already had the experience.
He already saw it.
And I think that that's the piece that we can end this one on is like, once you see it, you can't let it go.
Yep.
And I think that's why I wanted people to be there so badly.
Yeah.
Because I knew they would stick.
Mm-hmm.
And if they didn't stick, then that is mighty exposing.
I haven't talked to a single person that went out there that I know that has not said something to the effect of, I've never seen anything like it. Can't even believe this. This changed this. It's transformative for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I'll say is I sincerely hope we do another one because there's literally, we could go on for hours. But as sure as the sun will come up tomorrow, that was a transformative experience for me, and it's continually transformative in more ways than I'm even aware of right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have been down there without you posting that video, without you saying, hey, let's go. Come on, this is what we need. Because I was like, what type of chainsaw? You're like, this. What this? I wouldn't have been down there. I wouldn't have been pushed as hard as I was pushed. I definitely wouldn't have had the experiences and the transformation that I had if it were not for you. So my last part of this will be a sincere thank you and gesture of gratitude for you doing what you did and allowing me to sort of piggyback off you. We've talked about it. I'm telling you, if God is so good, you and I will go to that resort. We'll go to that exact same part of the resort that was 4 or 5 RVs high, 20 feet of debris, and we will play in that pool with our children, God willing. Mm-hmm. And it'll be literally one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I look forward to that. I don't take lightly at all what was built amongst us. Like I don't. There's people I've known a long time that don't have what exists here. And that doesn't mean I don't love them or care about them. It just means it's different. But I think that, again, you're always going to hold a really special place in my heart because you answered. Dude, I felt alone.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to be a bitch about it and be transparent? I will. I felt fucking alone. Because of here in Austin, I feel like I have had a lot of community, right? People that I work out with or run with or deal business with or all these different things, right? One man answered. It was you. I felt alone though because I was like, fuck is everybody? Come on, man. What's going on? And it was minutes. So God set all that up, dude. It was all him. And so but people don't understand. There's a lot of people, I can assure you this, and I'll end it on this. There's a lot of people that saw that video, that felt it in their heart that they should go, that didn't pick up the phone. It's just real shit. You did. That will forever change the way I feel about you as a man, as a person. My kids will know that story. This man showed up when your dad felt like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. How am I going to make an impact? God sent me a teammate that answered the call.
Yep.
So like people, your calling ain't shit if you don't pick up the phone. You picked it up. So I'll never forget that, man.
I'll pick it up every time, brother.
Same. Yeah, it don't matter. And the more I don't want to, the more I'm going to pick that shit up.
Yep.
But I love you for it, man. I'm glad we could share this time together. I'm going to call him as soon as we get out of here and see if we can, we'll figure out another 2-hour block we can get in.
Yeah.
Because to your point, I don't want to do any injustice to the conversation.
Yeah.
Or disservice to the people or anything. And I do apologize kinda for getting off on a tangent there with the negative outlook on stuff, but like
needed to happen.
I haven't offloaded anything.
Yeah.
Right? And so yes, like I said, yesterday was the first day I haven't been in it.
Yeah.
So I'm still processing actively and honestly, it probably will take a long time if I don't even know if this is something you complete processing on, because I think it created something that has so much energy and potential that God's going to use perpetually throughout the remainder of my life.
Yep.
So it's going to be processed forever.
Yeah.
Right. And I think our children will be processing it for us. Like that's what it's just, it might sound so silly, but like I said, unless you were there, if you were there, you would understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
So thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It's truly an honor. Yeah. I really mean that.
Me too. Do it again.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's going to wrap for today's podcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to Ain't Dead Yet, and we'll see you soon.